Hi, my beautiful friends. I want to chat with you today about negative, toxic people. This come around from a client who said to me, I moved away from negative, toxic people and they're here again. Why? Why do I really struggle with this? So I wanted to dive a little deeper into why, into how they're showing up and how you can start to shift that energy, what you can do to help align with more beautiful, positive people that you want to form relationships with, that you can raise your vibration, and how you can stand in your power and your worth and have a circle of people around you who are in alignment for you. Let's dive in, my friends. Hello, beautiful souls. I am chatting with you today from my Earthy Angels studio. It is a rainy day. It's been raining here for weeks. Ever since I've come back from Bali, it hasn't stopped. So you may hear a bit of it in the background, but it's a beautiful ambience in here when it rains. I absolutely love it. And I wanted to chat with you today around a question that came up in our coaching group with our clients, and she wanted a little bit of a help with it. And I thought, you know what, I got some inspiration. I'm going to jump on and record a podcast episode about this because I think it can help a lot of people as well. And I know that you will get something out of it. And this whole episode will help you align with the kind of people that you want to be surrounded by, because it's like I tell my kids, association is everything. What you think, you become. The people around you influence you. You become like they say your wealth can be measured by the 5 closest people that you hang around. And everything can be measured by the people that you hang around, by the influence that you have through social media, through friends, through family, through people all around. And it's up to you to protect your energy and to be so conscious and deliberate about the type of people that you spend time with. But sometimes it's hard, right? Sometimes we have people around us, whether it be friends, whether it be family, whether it be neighbors, whether it be people at work. You can't put yourself in this little bliss bubble all the time of all the people that you want to hang around, and that is it. You are going to come across people that might rub you up the wrong way, across people that might not be in alignment with you. So this episode might help you understand how you can deal with that, how you can process that, how you can shift that, how you can elevate your surroundings by what you do, how you think, how you feel, how you act, how you protect your energy, the boundaries that you have, but also that you can stand in your power and you can speak your truth. And sometimes people fall away when you are clear on who you are and what you want and what you will or will not tolerate. So I'm going to unpack all of that today. And I thought I would start by sharing with you something that I can't remember if I read or I heard it on a podcast, but it was from Wayne Dyer. And I love Wayne Dyer. If you haven't dove into any of his work, I highly encourage you to read his books, listen to his free audios. He's absolutely incredible. And he spoke about this one example of how, don't quote me exactly, I can't remember exactly, but somebody went into like a new town. They moved house and went into a new town. So I can't remember if it was somebody that people that he met when he moved. I can't remember the situation. It was years ago, but I remember the moral of the story. And he was saying that like this person said, when asked, like, what are the people like here? I think he asked people, that's right. When he moved to a new place, what are the people like here? And somebody said, oh, the people are awful. And they kind of went into this bit of a rant about how it's not nice people. You know, they don't get enough out of the people. They don't really struggle to find new people. And that can be easy to let somebody else's experience tarnish your experience. And then he was speaking about somebody else who he ran into and said, what are the people like here? And this person said, they're beautiful. I love it here. The neighborhood is so good. The people are kind. They're really amazing people to be around. I am so happy here. And the moral of his story is no matter where you go, you bring with you the essence of what you attract, the essence of what you vibrate. And it doesn't mean you do it intentionally. You might be sitting here thinking, well, I thought that, I'm not like that. I'm not negative. I'm not toxic. So how dare you say I'm attracting these people into my life? Sit with this and I'll explain to you why, okay? So, but the moral of the story is that you also see the evidence of what you wish to believe, or the evidence of what you're vibrating at, or the evidence of the experience that you have had. And that is what gets reflected back to you. It's your attitude too that you carry through life. Your energy that you carry through life attracts people or circumstances or situations into your life. So if I can leave you with anything to start off, understand that you are the only one in control of your energy. You're the only one in control of raising your frequency, raising your vibration, improving your mood, improving your attitude. You cannot control people around you. All you can control is yourself and how you react to the way people in your life show up around you, how you respond, how you react, how you let it affect you. That is the only thing you're in control of. So you can't help it if you move next to a cranky neighbor, if you've got a disgruntled employee, if you've got a negative, toxic boss that you don't align with, if your partner's going through something. Like, you can't control what things are going on around you, what people are dealing with, or how they show up. But you have every bit of power in you, and what you allow and what you attract and what you wish to tolerate and how you wish to show up, the energy you wish to emanate out into the world, that is all within your control, and that is the only thing within your control. And there's a really great book called by Viktor Frankl, and he was the man that went into like a Nazi he was a psychologist, went into a Nazi concentration camp and lost his whole family, and it speaks about like how he got through it, and it's called Man's Search for Meaning, and it is a brilliant book by someone that went through one of the hardest hardships and how he reacted and how it got him through the concentration camp and got him out on the other side. Really great read. I highly recommend that. So at a fundamental level, people mirror back to you. It could be your worth. It could be lessons that you need to see. It could be things that you maybe haven't got the lesson yet. People mirror back to you your energy. People mirror back to you your subconscious beliefs. People are in your life to teach you lessons. Everything comes back to how you show up. So sometimes you might find that if you are maybe scared of someone or scared of something, that it keeps showing up for you. It keeps coming back to you until you're not afraid anymore. The lessons keep showing up until you've worked through it, until you've learnt the lesson and moved on. So even though you can literally move states, move suburbs, move countries, you can still feel the same that you were feeling in that past suburb or country or, where you state that you were living. Because what often happens, it's like when you change relationships, you go into a new relationship and you keep going through people and they end up being the evidence of the same people, or they're an experience of the same relationship that you just come out of. Different body, different actual person, but the same experience keeps showing up because you need to do some healing. You need to do some work on yourself. You need to raise your self-worth. Maybe there's some lessons in there that you haven't learned that you need to work on. So it's up to you to whether or not you make the choice to do the inner work, to do the healing, to have the awareness at looking at our stuff, because our energy is magnetic. Our subconscious, what we feel at a subconscious level, comes back to us. So even if it's something that we're trying to avoid, like I'm trying to avoid toxic people, I'm trying to avoid toxic people. Why do I always have toxic people in my life? Even though you're working on yourself, you're doing the things, you're improving your attitude, you're improving your mindset, but at this subconscious belief, this subconscious level, you keep thinking, why are these toxic negative people showing up? Because your mind is still preoccupied with them. Your mind is still preoccupied with, why can't I escape these people? Because the universe doesn't hear no. All the universe hears is, I've got to get away from toxic people. Why are they around me all the time? I've got to get away from negativity. So what do? You're thinking toxic, you're thinking negativity, you're thinking about all of those things. What you want to start doing, which I'll go into, is what do you want to bring into your life? So your reality, even though you're trying to escape it, even though you're trying to move away from it, you're still preoccupied with them. You're still preoccupied with the thoughts, with the fear, with what you're trying to avoid at a subconscious, unconscious level. So there's some reprogramming that we need to do around that. Maybe you're still carrying subconscious beliefs or trauma or of betrayal or of things that have happened to you, how people have hurt you, how people have shown up a certain way in your life, how you were raised, the kind of people that you hung around at school, the kind of negative, toxic things that people might have said to you. Maybe you're still subconsciously clinging that, hanging on to the hurt, hanging on to the betrayal, holding on to these subconscious beliefs that that's all you're worthy of. Then what happens is you keep, again, your energy is magnetic. You keep aligning with the exact same vibration of what your thoughts and beliefs are at. It's like this energy we put out. We tune into a radio station. We put this energy out, and that's the same frequency that comes back to us. So even though you might be thinking, I've got to think positive, I've got to think positive, I've got to think positive, but then you're focused on, or you're subconsciously thinking about, without even realizing, it's like when you look in the mirror and you go, gee, I look fat in this. Without even realizing it, that's what you're hardwired to believe. That's what keeps coming up in your subconscious belief. So that's what keeps getting mirrored back to you at that at that physical level, that reality, the people around you, because it's mirroring your subconscious beliefs that are wired deep down into your programming, into your core. So that's what you need to work on healing. It could also be because maybe you're like this, it's like this lighthouse effect where you're a naturally empathetic, beautiful, kind person. Maybe you're a bit more spiritually awakened. Maybe you have done a lot of work on yourself and you just have such deep empathy for people. It's like when you put out this lighthouse and the ships see the light because they're in the darkness, that other people are lost in the darkness and they're drawn to your warmth, they're drawn to your light for their healing. Their energy is drawn to you, but it drains you and it leaves you feeling not valued. It leaves you feeling, when they walk away, you're like, oh, thank goodness. And you kind of people leave you feeling depleted all the time, because maybe at a subconscious level, you like to be the fixer. You like to help people. You like to heal people. Maybe you feed off others' drama, off others' chaos, because you subconsciously need to be needed, or you want to help people and you have no boundaries around what people draw from you. Sometimes maybe if you can be perfectly honest with yourself, maybe it gives you something to talk about. Maybe it gives you a sense of being needed, a sense of having this purpose. Maybe people come to you for help because you don't value your own self enough and you just want to kind of fix people because you're putting all of your attention on other people instead of looking at yourself, that you feel it kind of gives you some kind of purpose or some kind of fulfillment, but it's not really fulfilling you. You know what I mean? It's like when it gives you some of the drama to cling to, something to talk about, because there might be other things in your life where you're just feeling lost. You're feeling unfulfilled. You feel like you've got nothing, no sense of purpose, no sense of direction, nothing going on in your life, that you feed off other people's drama, of other people's negativity. There are so many different, I could go into a million scenarios, but I just want you to have that little bit of awareness at first and think, what am I putting out into the world? what is my energy that I'm vibrating? What are my core beliefs? And that might take a little bit of work for you to get really raw, really vulnerable, really clear with yourself and think, what am I trying to avoid? What am I thinking at a subconscious level? What am I craving? What am I drawing to myself? Even though it's not what I want, remember, the universe doesn't hear no. So you can write the affirmations, you can say all the things that you want, but at a subconscious belief level, if you are needing these things, or if you're afraid of these things, or if you're trying to avoid these things, or if you're still stuck in the betrayal, the trauma of what's happened to you in the past, you're going to keep bringing these into your life until you work through it, until you heal through it, until you make a decision to change, until you've had enough. Sometimes you get to the point where you go, I've just had enough. I am so sick of this. That could push you to breaking point, that you need to make a change. It's going to show up in different ways for different people. But at some point, you're going to hit this awakening, this awareness of, I want something different. I want more for myself. I want better people in my life. I need better association in my life. So it's up to you to start to level up. It's up to you to start doing some of the inner work. And there's so many different ways. Like, you can go right through my podcast, in my coaching program, in class, on retreats, things that I share, but also to get some support and to get some guidance as to how to change this, but also through psychologists, counselors, energy healers, Reiki, through books that you read, podcasts that you listen to. There's so many different avenues of support out there and help out there. It's what aligns for you in the moment, and actually making a decision to go and get some help, or to go and do some work on yourself, or to reflect and journal and look deep within and go, what do I need to change? Why is this happening to me? How can I pivot this and actually seek out some support? I'll give you a couple of examples of just little things that I've maybe experienced, or people around me that I have kind of seen. Situations play out, people play out, and how I guess I have pivoted, and some of the hard lessons that I have lived through. I know for me, I've had people say, come into the studio who I can feel are not the kind of people that I want to have in my studio. There might just be different vibes that they're kind of putting out. And I know I will invite and welcome everybody in. But my intention when I opened my studio was, I want to create a space where people come and they feel so safe to move their body. Women walk in here and they feel there is no judgment. People don't care what I'm wearing. People don't care what my body size, shape, age is. That I feel so safe to move my body in a beautiful way. And I feel surrounded by a community of women that are supportive, are loving, are kind, are compassionate, and make me feel I can be my authentic self. That is the energy of what I used to journal before I opened this studio, the people that I attracted into my community with my personal training business. I got very clear on the kind of person that I want to have in my community, and the kind of feeling that I want people to feel when they step into the doors. And there is no judgment, there is no bitch vibes, there is not negativity. Yes, you can come and we can help you through what you need help with, but you're not here to bring other people down, because people deserve to feel supported and loved and valued and uplifted by the community. That is what I get. I have people say to me all the time, I have never stepped into a community where people are so nice. I've never trusted women until I come here. I love coming here. I've met so many friends here. I can rock up and it doesn't matter what I wear. I feel included and I feel safe to just be myself. People tell me all the time, and I just go, that's a reflection of what I put out and the intention that I set. I've had people come through who I felt are not the right vibe for this community. I've just felt maybe let's just say bitch vibes, or maybe the negativity, or maybe it just felt off. You just feel it in your stomach, it feels off. And I just think to myself, I will welcome them, but I'm maybe not going to follow them up. And they kind of, I know they don't like it. I know they don't align, and they don't come back because they feel, again, that vibration. They feel what they're used to, what they're used to indulging in. They feel it in this community. So they sense the disconnect. They sense the discord. They sense the different energy, where they might walk away and go, well, that was shit, or I didn't like that, or that was too woo, or whatever. They might have negative opinions about it. I don't really care. All I know is they're vibrating at a different level, and I'm very protective of this energy of the space with my community, that's what I attract. And that's what I will tolerate, and that's what I want for this community to feel, and they feel it. So people that don't vibrate at that frequency feel the disconnect and they go away. So people can naturally drop off when you set your intentions. I've also had times where I know people, as I've done a lot more growth on myself, as I have, I guess, been really conscious of all the things I'm talking to you about in this episode, my energy, my attitude, my mood, what I will and won't tolerate, what I associate myself with. I've been very strict on my boundaries, and it's come through lots of trial and error, because there's been plenty of times where people have drained me, where I've allowed myself to be open to help everybody at all hours of the day, where I felt it was impacting my family, where I felt I was getting messages at all times of the night and I was replying to them, that it hit a point where I could feel that it was affecting my family. I could feel that it was affecting my time with my loved ones. I could feel energetically drained by some of these people. I had to put boundaries up and go, you know what? This is on me. This is not their problem. I'm leaking my energy. I'm letting them walk all over me. I'm not having any, boundaries. This is on me. I need to fix that. So I got really deliberate with the times that I work, the times I respond to people. If I'm out with my family, I would try, because I run a business, right? So it's not like that 100% of the time. I have periods where I might be doing a launch or something. I need to be on my phone. So it's not 100% of the time. But most of the time, I have boundaries around my time, boundaries around when I will allow people to have access to me, to protect my most sacred relationships, which is that relationship with myself and my relationship with my loved ones, and have myself available at certain times for everybody else. And that's not selfish, because if your energy is depleted, you cannot give to everybody else. If you're drained, if you come down sick, if you're unwell, if you've got headaches, if you're just energetically depleted, what good are you to everybody else? And how can I show up and have my best energy for my podcast, for teaching in my community, for my retreats, for all my coaching, for the people that I interact with? How can I be my best energetic self to give if I'm constantly depleted? So I am not... I'm standing in my power, and I honor my boundaries, and I encourage you to do the same as well. With those boundaries, it's like I send a signal out that I won't tolerate bitching. People don't, they used to. And I started to notice when I would maybe get caught up in conversations around if other women were maybe complaining about their husbands or complaining about other women around them, I started to notice and go, I actually don't want to get involved in this. I don't want to speak. I don't feel that way. I don't want to get drained by this. So I stopped indulging. If people come to me and they kind of want to have a little bit of look, there's a difference between I'm empathetic and I'm compassionate. People can come to me with problems and I will talk to you about that. No problem at all. But I don't get people whinge and bitch and complain to me about other people, because I won't tolerate it. They feel that I won't tolerate it. They know it. And it just doesn't happen anymore. It used to, and it just doesn't happen, because I know what I will tolerate, and I know my worth, and I know the example I want to be to people around me and be to my kids, that it just doesn't happen anymore. And if it does, I nip it in the bud. Like, I'll maybe put the question back to that person. Well, why do you think that's happening? Or why do you think they're showing up that way? And I will kind of talk to them about maybe some little lessons in the situation, or maybe give them a few hard truths that they don't like it. They'll go and tell somebody else if they want to stay there, or they'll take on board what I have to share. That's up to them. I'm just the messenger. I protect my energy, and I feel, and I channel, and I say what comes out because I have an intention that I want to leave people better than I found them. So people can take it on board, or people can walk away and not like me. I don't care. I stand in my truth and my power and the energy that I want to put out to people, and then it's up to them what they do with it. Another couple of examples I know, and sometimes we have hard lessons. Sometimes we have situations that are really uncomfortable because we need to grow from them. Like, for instance, I remember on one of my earlier retreats where I didn't find out until a little bit later after the retreat, there was maybe a couple of energies on the group that didn't align with everybody. And look, I picked up on it, I definitely did, but I didn't hear all of the stories until later on about a few things that was said. And there were little instances where there were maybe people that were in a rush to get through the activity because they wanted to get back and have a drink by the pool. And when I started to become aware of this, and I heard a few things afterwards by some of these people, that it made me feel upset and it made me feel hurt and it made me feel like I had maybe let them down. And it made me feel that some of this particular people on the group that were complaining about things that kept happening for them, I just knew they weren't the right energy for the retreat container that I wanted to hold. And I walked away from that retreat sitting with it for ages, thinking I've done something wrong. And look, it was still a fantastic retreat. Like, it was an incredible retreat. Women got out of it what they wanted, but there was a couple of things I sat with, and it made me get really clear on the kind of woman that I want on retreat. And it made me have to stand up through some hard words, some harsh feedback that come through that really cut me, and it really made me feel not great. But I looked at it and I sat with it and I went, you know what? I don't want to tolerate that on my retreat. Women are not there to have a holiday to drink by the pool. Like, I am putting all my marketing, all my energy into, I'm attracting the woman that wants to come and work on themselves, the woman that wants to come and grow, the woman that wants to come and have some healing, the woman wants to come and nurture herself. Yes, we have fun. Yes, we go out. It's not completely serious 100% of the time. And we do have an amazing experience and we have a lot of fun times and a lot of laughs. But it made me reevaluate my expectancy for the type of woman that I want on that retreat and why they're there to protect the container of the group and the women that are there to work on themselves. And ever since that hard lesson, I journaled on it, I got clear on it, I put it out in my marketing, I set my expectations, my standards. That's never happened again, because that hard lesson gave me clarity on what I want, what I expect, the kind of people that I want to serve. So sometimes things can be a hard lesson for you that make you go, you know what? This needs to change. What is the lesson in that? And it helps you to shift, and it helps you to set your standards and protect your energy and know what you actually want. So sometimes lessons can come the hard way, but they can help shift you the way that you are meant to go. I always say rejection is God's protection, or rejection is redirection. So think about that as well. Another example, I know with my husband, for instance, and I know he would say to me things like, he's one of those people that can just fix everything. And he is so great with his hands. He's smart. He is just, people call on him all the time, and he would just give and give and give and show up and fix things for people for nothing. He hit a point of burnout, and he hit a point of actually going, I'm sick of people always needing me. I'm sick of people wanting me to fix everything. It made him retreat a lot, because he kept saying, I'm sick of people wanting things from me. Like, I'm just sick of this and I'm sick of that. And he kept having this same subconscious belief. People always need me. People maybe use me. People always, like, why am I always the fixer? And I saw situations play out, even in one of his workplaces, where they kind of chewed him up a bit and spat him out, if I'm perfectly honest, and they used him to grow the business. He went in as a partner, and things broke away and ended in not a great result. And he had to learn some hard lessons to that. And we had chats about that. And I spoke to him about, the energy that you put out was that people rely on you for things. And so all the circumstances that start showing out are back to this subconscious belief that he had to fix things for everybody, and he hit a point of burnout, and he hit a point of having a hard breakup and things not going so nicely, but it shifted him, it course corrected him. It needed to happen for his growth. It needed to happen for him to stand up in what he was meant to be doing. And that can happen for you too, where people are around you that are not necessarily the best from you, and you hit a point of burnout, you hit a point of feeling like you are just being depleted or drained or used or just sick of the drama, where it can come at a crunch point where you go, I'm done, I'm sick of it. And you can walk away by choice, or you can actually have a situation unfold that is not the nicest, and it can feel uncomfortable, it can feel challenging, it can be a real struggle for you to get through. But just know that the universe is course correcting you, is redirecting you for where you meant to go, and ask yourself, what is the lesson in this? So that's what I want to go through now, is how can you shift this? How can you bring in more people that you want to align with? And how can you get rid of some of the negative, toxic people in your life? It starts with, I'll go through this angels framework, which I keep going back to because it just helps you get clear in your mind. Remember the angels acronym, A, awareness. You've got to have awareness of what is showing up. What are my subconscious beliefs? What are the relationships like around me? What relationships do I want to cultivate? What am I done with? What am I sick of? How am I sick of feeling? What patterns are showing up? What kind of people keep playing out? Different bodies, different people, but the same energy of what I'm trying to escape from. Am I trying to avoid it? And my subconscious programming is I am still putting energy into, I'm still preoccupied with that kind of people. I keep fearing that kind of people. I keep trying to escape that kind of people. So my energy is going to that kind of person. And my subconscious beliefs low. Do I not value myself? Do I not value my worth? Are there lessons that I need to learn in this because of the people that are showing up? Is there trauma I'm still carrying that I need to heal from? Am I negative myself? Be really raw and honest with yourself. Do I whinge a bit? Do I complain? Am I negative? Are these people coming in my life to show me a lesson of what I am showing up as and what I am playing out? There are so many different variables. And you just have to ask yourself, have awareness and have an honest, hard look and go, how am I showing up? Get to the root of what are your subconscious beliefs? What are the patterns that keep playing out in your life? And then making a decision to go, do I want to keep doing this? Do I want to keep having these people in my life, or do I want change? If so, you need to take action and you need to actually start doing something about it. So awareness is the first step of anything, because if not, guess what? The same things are going to keep happening, keep playing out in your life until you have the awareness of how you're showing up and what you need to work on. And sometimes it is uncomfortable. 100%. It's not going to be easy. It is uncomfortable. It's going to take some hard, vulnerable truths. But what's the alternative? Nothing changes, right? So you can journal on that. You can ask it. You can sit in meditation. I'll go through some ways with you now. But the next step is to, in that angels framework, nourish yourself. What can I do to put myself in that state of deep reflection and nourishment? It could go, be going to a yoga class, doing some meditation, taking care of you, putting some boundaries up in place, finding more peace, more calm, finding, those spiritual tools that you can turn to. Journal, sit, go out in nature, connect out in nature, because when you get out in that vibrational space of nature let me say that again. The vibration of nature is perfect. So when you get out in the energy of that beautiful, nourishing, nurturing space, guess what? Revelations start coming to you. Ideas start coming to you. Clarity starts coming to you when you nourish yourself, when you nurture yourself, when you treat yourself with kindness. Because if you keep going in the rat race, doing things, going 100 miles an hour, living with stress, living with anxiety, living with overwhelm, and never take some time to slow down and nourish yourself and find a little bit more peace, Nothing is going to change for you. You might never have the awareness, and you might wonder why you're struggling so much in your life. Have the awareness and then nourish yourself. G, ask for help, guidance. G stands for guidance. Maybe you need to foster a bit more of a spiritual connection. Ask God, source, universe, the question. It could be through meditation. It could be through your journaling. It could be like sitting out in nature. Just ask for guidance. Why is this happening? Why is this showing up? Can you please give me some insight? Have prayers. Say prayers like, this is what I want to change. Please help support me through this. So asking for that universal guidance, that universal support. And I go through all of this in my coaching program and teach the girls all the different ways that we can tap into our guidance. It could be through asking for signs, asking for messages, paying attention to the signs, paying attention to songs that you hear, warning signs that might come up and say warning. I've literally seen that play out many times as well. Ask for guidance, ask for help, ask for signs, and then you have to be open enough to receive, look, be aware, which comes back to that nourishment. When you give yourself time of peace, time of slowing down, time of being in calm, you're more open to receiving that connection through your intuition, receiving the guidance that comes through. If you're constantly going and rushing, you block it, you shut it off. So opening yourself up to receive the guidance through all of these practices that I teach you as well. E, your energy. Be aware of your energy. Your energy is magnetic. How are you showing up? How's your energy feeling? How are your emotions feeling? You need to feel the emotion. If people frustrate you, if people upset you, if people leave you feeling less than, you need to feel the emotion, because your emotion is energy in motion. Your energy is your guidance system. Your energy shows you how you're feeling, what you do want, what you don't want. Know the contrast. Sometimes these emotions show up for you to go, I don't want this anymore. I don't want to feel this way anymore. Good. Now you can change it, but you need to feel how you need to feel. Sometimes you might need a good cry. Sometimes you might need to yell and scream. Sometimes you might need to get angry. You have to allow yourself to feel the emotion, but then you have to protect your energy. Have those boundaries. Maybe saging away what you don't want anymore. Maybe taking time to and this can come back to the nourishment or your energy. Breathe. Take time to just breathe. Take time to ground. Take time to sit and sip your raw cacao or your, tea, whatever it is that you like. Take time to get that guidance and through your oracle cards. Shake it off. How's my energy feeling? You can shake off your energy, move, dance. Come to yoga, shift your energy, but don't let people affect your mood and your energy for the long term. Your energy is sacred. It is up to you to protect it and nobody else. Remember, you're the only one in control of your energy. It's up to you to find that peaceful state. It's up to you to have boundaries. It's up to you to protect your sacred energy, but be aware of your energy. Be aware of how it's showing up, maybe in the fear, maybe in the doubt, in your emotions. Feel how you need to feel, but then ask yourself the question, do I want to stay there? What can I do to shift it? Visualize what you want. So coming back to that energy, your energy is magnetic. Start writing out, start journaling, start feeling, start reflecting. What are the kind of people I want to surround myself with? Write them out, journal them, get really crystal clear on who do I want to be around? What kind of people do I want to have in my life? What kind of energy do I want to have around me? But then guess what? It's up to you to be that first. You have to be that person first. You can raise your energy. You can raise your frequency. You have to be that first, and you have to shift your energy to attract more of that into your life, which comes to L. Love yourself. Really be kind to yourself, compassionate to yourself, but also other people as well. Send them love, send them healing, send them positive energy, but make yourself happy. Love yourself enough to go, you know what? I am so worthy of being happy. I am okay. I am allowed to be happy. I'm allowed to be positive. Even if people around me aren't, in my workplace, in my family, in my relationships, my neighbors, I am allowed to be happy, and I will protect my energy, and I will show up with so much love, so much happiness, that I will love me first and treat other people with kindness and treat yourself with kindness and compassion. But sometimes when there's people around me that are so maybe toxic or negative, I shower them with so much happiness that sometimes it might irritate them, sometimes it might repel them, sometimes it might diffuse the situation, and it might dilute the situation where they just can't help but feel happier in your presence. I've seen it with people that I'm around, often, whether it might be a negative neighbor or something like that, who I've kind of felt it. And I'm not doing it from a patronizing way. Like, I'm doing it because that's just who I am at a core level. I've just been so nice to them and gone out of my way to do really nice things that they can't help but like me, or they can't help to mirror that energy back, because I am that energy first. And then there's some people, no matter what you do, that you just need to avoid like the plague, because they're not going to change and they don't want to change, and that is on them, and that is okay. Allow them to fall away. Do all those things to protect your energy, sage them away. And the more you vibrate up the scale, people will naturally fall away anyway when you work on your own energy. And sometimes it can come away through force. Sometimes it can come away through difficult challenges, or, really not nice relationship breakups, or through fights or arguments. But just remember, rejection is God's protection. It is protecting you for your highest good. So when you love yourself enough and you work on your energy and you send out more love, you send out more healing, you protect yourself. I'm not going to go into all it now. It's in my coaching program, but a lot of the energy protection surrounding yourself with light and love when you go into work, when you are around these people, it sometimes repels them, or it sometimes allows them to fall away, or it sometimes diffuses the situation. But either way, you're only in control of you and your energy, and how you show up, how they react is on them. So you just show up being your best self always. And the last step is surrender, release, let go. If people fall away, they're meant to. Just let go and trust that God, source, universe, divine has a bigger plan for you, and has people that align for you when you surrender to whoever's meant to be in my life will be in my life, and not trying to change yourself for other people, not trying to perfect yourself for other people, not trying to be liked, not trying to force people to stay in your life who aren't meant to be there, not clinging to people, not trying to control situations, letting it go and go, I'm just going to be me. I'm just going to show up and be me. If people don't like me, I don't care. If people fall away, it's meant to be. Trust in the divine plan. Trust and allow spirit to kind of come through you and do the heavy lifting for you. Believe in yourself, believe in your worth, and just surrender to allow yourself to be who you need to be, and the people that are meant to be in your life will be. And surrender to that as you do the inner work on yourself, as you grow in your worth, whoever's meant to be around you will. But you have to raise your energy and trust the process along the way. Surrender to trust in the higher plan, the higher divine guidance, and know that you are worthy to just be who you are, and do the work on yourself to raise your energy. Just like in the last few episodes that I spoke about with all the revelations that have come out of Bali, and me aligning, like getting into this coaching program with the founder of Kavari. I'm so excited about that, but I've had to do a lot of work to raise my self-worth and to love myself more. All the things that I've just spoken to you about in that angels framework, I do it myself constantly. I'm constantly having that awareness of how am I feeling in myself? Is negative things coming in to me in my mind? What's happening around me? How can I nourish myself? How can I protect myself? How can I honor and protect my energy? How can I get clear on what I want through goals, through writing down what I will and won't tolerate, the kind of people that I want to have around me, loving on myself, showering people with more kindness, all the things I'm sharing with you. I've had to raise that energy and that self-worth and that self-belief at a core fundamental level. So then I'm aligning with different people. I'm aligning with it's not even a better or higher than caliber of people, but I'm getting clear on what I want. And these people are coming into my life because of my internal fundamental core beliefs, worth and value. So everything starts with you, my friends. Everything starts with, remember, you're only in control of your energy, how you show up, what you tolerate, what you expect, and what you allow to let affect you and how you react. Everybody else, they're in control of their own, just like you are. So you cannot do anything about that, but you can choose to be happy. You can choose to be positive. You can choose to do the healing work. You can choose to send more love and light out into the world. You can choose first to be the kind of person that you want to attract into your reality. Be her first and know your worth and know what you will and won't tolerate, and dive into the inner work, my friends, because that is where change and growth and transformation comes from. It's when you get clarity on what you want first. I hope that has helped. I just want to leave you with the last little bit from this card that I pulled this morning. And it says, your inner spiritual power can heal circumstances in your life and our world in ways greater than you realize. Journey within to gain clarity and conscious redirection of your inner energies towards what you wish to manifest. Do not try and control what is happening around. Instead, work to bring positive influence to bear so that you may contribute constructively towards shaping the outcome for your highest good and the highest good of those around you. I will leave that with you, my friends. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you in the next episode. So much love to you all. Bye.